Hi everyone, my name is Mamata, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of ECE, St. Martin's Engineering College. Today I am going to give a lecture on amplitude modulation. It is a small topic in communication systems. Before going to amplitude modulation, I will discuss what is communication, what are the basic blocks present in communication system. So communication is the process of sending some information from one place to another place, like from source to destination. These are the basic elements in communication system. First one, source, and second one, transmitter, third one, communication channel or medium, receiver, and the destination. So the message has to travel from source to destination through using communication channel. So the source may be analog or digital source, and the transmitter which will transmit the signal into free space or medium or any wide medium, and the receiver will receive that signal. It will give the signal to the destination. So these are the basic elements. The source may be analog or digital source. Analog signals like voice signal, video signal or audio signals we can transmit through by using communication channel. And the next one is the digital signals. We can transmit the digital data also. And next component is transmitter. Transmitter contains a transducer, modulator and an antenna. What is the purpose of transducer here? The transducer will change one form of signal into another form, like a non-electrical signal. These are voice, audio, video are non-electrical signals. To transmit through a channel, we have to convert it into a electrical signal. So for that we are using transducer. The best example for input transducer is a microphone, which converts our voice signals into electrical signals. And the next block is modulator. The purpose of modulator here is whatever the signals we are transmitting, these signals are low frequency signals. Like voice signal will have frequency range from 300 Hz to 3500 Hz. So that is very low frequency, which will get attenuate when we send it into the free space. For that we have to change the characteristics. So we have to impose the characteristics of message signal on carrier signal. We will take one carrier signal which is having high frequency. So we are changing the characteristics of carrier signal with respect to instantaneous value changes of message signal. So next one is antenna, which will radiate the signals into free space. Next one is channel. The transmission channel in communication system may be a wide channel or wireless channel. So examples of wide channels are cable or optical fiber, and wireless channel is free space. At the receiver, the opposite functionality of transmitter will take place. Here we have an antenna, demodulator and a transducer. Antenna is used to receive the signals which are radiated into free space, and demodulator is the opposite functionality of modulator. In modulator, we are changing the characteristics of carrier signal with respect to message signal. To get the original message signal, we will do demodulation here. And the transducer, which converts one form of signal to another form, like here we will convert electrical signal to non-electrical signal. The best example for output transducer is a loudspeaker. Next one is destination, where the transmitted signal or message signal will reach. That may be a person or computer. Next one, modulation. Okay, so modulation is defined as the process of changing the parameters or characteristics of carrier signal. The carrier signal is a high frequency signal with respect to the message signal, with respect to the instantaneous values of low frequency message signals. So normally a signal is represented as A signal is represented as, for example, a signal we take V of t is equals to A into cos theta. Okay, so this is the one characteristic we can change, and this is the one characteristic we can change. Here we can change amplitude A or angle theta. Again, this angle contains frequency and phase. Again, this angle contains frequency and phase. Okay, so we can change these three characteristics of carrier signal with respect to amplitude of message signal. So why we are doing modulation? What is the need for modulation? Our message signal is very low frequency message signal which will get attenuated easily if it transmit for longer distances. So that's why we have to do modulation. These are the needs of modulation. First one is, after modulation it will increases signal strength. The message signal is a low frequency signal which have low signal strength. If we want to transmit that message signal for longer distances, we have to, the signal noise will be introduced into the signal easily. For that, if we impose our message signal on carrier signal, which is a high frequency carrier signal, we can increase the signal strength. Reduces the antenna height. So how it will reduce the antenna height? Normally the antenna height should be, for effective radiation, the antenna height should be lambda by 4. How it will reduce the antenna height? Let us take our message signal frequency as 10 kilohertz. The antenna height should be lambda by 4, where lambda is equals to velocity of light by frequency of the signal which we are going to radiate. Here lambda is equals to, if we take a message signal directly to transmit, 3 into 10 power 8 meters per second by frequency is 10 kilohertz. And height of antenna is equals to 3 into 10 power 8 by 4 into 10 power 4. If we solve this, we will get 77.5 kilometers. So antenna height with 7.5 kilometers, to design a antenna height with 7.5 kilometers is practically not possible. If we modulate this signal, 10 kilohertz signal with frequency f is equals to 1 megahertz, antenna height is equals to 3 into 10 power 8 by 4 into 10 power 6, which is equals to 75 meters, which is practically possible to design an antenna height with 75 meters. For effective radiation, the height of antenna should be lambda by 4. So we can reduce the antenna height by the process of modulation. Next one, increases the range of communication. So after modulation, the frequency of the modulated signal will be very high. For longer distances, we can transmit the signals. Okay. Next one, allows the multiplexing of signals. Multiplexing is a process in which more number of signals are transmitted on a single bandwidth. Next one, adjustment in bandwidth is allowed. After modulation, we can increase the bandwidth or decrease the bandwidth. If we increase the bandwidth, we will transmit the signal freely. Next one, improve reception quality. It will be traveled for longer distances so that we can improve the quality of reception. Next one, we have, depending on the type of signals we will use, we have different types of modulation schemes. The types of modulation schemes are continuous wave modulation and pulse modulation. Okay, in continuous wave modulation, the signals we are using are continuous waves, like analog signals we will use. So, we can change the characteristics like amplitude, as we earlier discussed, amplitude and angle can be changed. So, depending on the characteristics, it is divided into continuous wave modulation, again divided into amplitude modulation and angle modulation. Again, angle contains frequency and phase. Again, angle contains frequency and phase. So, by changing frequency modulation will take place. By changing phase modulation will take place. Coming to the pulse modulation, again pulse modulation is divided into pulse analog modulation, pulse digital modulation. In pulse analog modulation, the message signal is a continuous wave signal and the carrier signal is a train of pulses. And in digital modulation, the message signal is the digital data and the carrier signal is a continuous wave high frequency signal. So, pulse analog modulation again divided into pulse amplitude modulation, pulse width modulation, pulse position modulation, and digital modulation is divided into pulse code modulation and delta modulation. So, coming to our topic, amplitude modulation. Amplitude modulation is the process of changing the amplitude of the carrier signal with respect to the instantaneous value of message signal. So, this is the low frequency message signal and this is the high frequency carrier signal. So, message signal is nothing but it is a low frequency signal. It is a low frequency signal which contains our information. The carrier signal is a high frequency signal which does not contain any information. We are imposing, after modulation, we are changing the message characteristics of carrier signal with respect to instantaneous value of message signal. Okay. So, this is the low frequency message signal and this is the high frequency carrier signal. After modulation, amplitude modulated signal will look like this. So, here the amplitude of the carrier signal is varied with respect to the message signal amplitude, These are the waveforms. Coming to mathematical expressions, let us take time domain representation of the waves. The modulating signal, the message signal, m of t is represented as am cos 2 pi fmt and the carrier signal is represented as c of t is equals to ac cos 2 pi fct, where am and fm are amplitude and frequency of low frequency message signal and ac and fc are amplitude and frequency of carrier signals. So, the signals c of t is equals to ac cos 2 pi fct, m of t is equals to am cos 2 pi fmt. So, what is modulation? So, modulation is we are changing the amplitude of carrier signal with respect to message signal. So, we will change the amplitude of carrier signal. We are directly adding the message signal to the amplitude of carrier signal AC plus m of t cos 2 pi fct. If we simplify this equation, we will get AC 1 plus Ka m of t into cos 2 pi fct. So, where this Ka is known as amplitude sensitivity. its units are 1 by volt or volt inverse. Again, if we further simplify the equation, AC into, if we substitute m of t here, Ka Am cos 2 pi FMT cos 2 pi FCT. We will get AC into 1 plus mu cos 2 pi FMT into cos 2 pi FCT. If we further simplify AC cos 2 pi FCT, we will get amplitude modulated signal as AC cos 2 pi FCT. This is nothing but a carrier signal, and AC mu by 2 cos 2 pi FC plus FMT plus AC mu by 2 cos 2 pi FC minus FMT. These are the three frequency components we will get in amplitude modulated signal. It is denoted as S suffix am of t. Okay, these are the components we will get: AC cos 2 pi FCT plus AC mu by 2 cos 2 pi FC minus FMT, AC plus AC cos 2 pi FC minus FMT. Okay, we will get the equation. This is the amplitude modulated signal SAM of t. Here mu is known as modulation index. Mu is known as modulation index or modulation depth. Modulation index. Modulation index is defined as how much depth the carrier amplitude is changed. How much amount of the carrier amplitude is changed with respect to the message signal. So, it can be calculated by using the ratio of message signal amplitude to the carrier signal amplitude. Okay, depending on the modulation index, different types of modulations are there. Amplitude modulations will take place. When mu value is equals to 0, there is no modulation is done. When mu value is less than 1, it will take under modulation. Means if mu is equals to 1, if mu value is equals to 1, means ratio of amplitude of message signal to the amplitude of carrier signal are same. This is known as 100% modulation. When mu value is less than 1, amplitude of carrier signal is high compared to amplitude of message signal. Amplitude of carrier signal is high. When mu value is greater than 1, amplitude of message signal is high compared to amplitude of carrier signal. So, mu value less than 1, it is known as under modulation. Mu value equals to 1, it is known as 100% modulation, and mu value greater than 1, it is known as over modulation. So, these are the waveforms. These are the waveforms for different types of modulations. This is under modulation waveform where mu value is less than 1, and here this is 100% modulation. Percentage of modulation is defined as modulation index into 100, and this is over modulation. So, there is a problem in over modulation when the carrier is changing. When the carrier is changing, here the phase is changed. Here the phase is changed. When the carrier is traveling from positive sides to negative side, the phase value will change. These are the waveforms. Coming to frequency spectrum, here we have three frequency components: FC, FC plus FM, FC minus FM. So, if we draw frequency spectrum, to draw frequency spectrum, this time domain signal has to convert into frequency domain signal by taking Fourier transform. Okay, so this is the frequency spectrum. After taking frequency spectrum, we will have FC, FC plus FM, FC minus FM. The FC plus FM is known as upper sideband, FC minus FM is known as lower sideband. So, to calculate the bandwidth, the higher component, frequency component minus lower frequency component we will take. So, the bandwidth is the difference between the highest and the lowest frequencies of the signal. So, here the maximum frequency is FC plus FM and minimum frequency is FC minus FM. So, if we cancel this FC and this FC, we will get 2 FM is the bandwidth, which is equals to 2 times the frequency of our message signal. So, we will discuss this in our video. So, what is amplitude modulation? Amplitude modulation is the changing the characteristics. We will take the signal like amplitude A of t sine 2 pi f of t plus pi of t, where these are the characteristics like amplitude, frequency and phase. Okay, so we can change the characteristics. We can change the characteristics. To create an amplitude modulated signal, here we have a high frequency carrier signal and we have a low frequency carrier signal. This low frequency carrier signal is the envelope of the modulated signal. And coming to frequency domain, just now we discussed. So, this is the frequency component of the carrier signal and we have a lower sideband and a upper sideband. If we take a modulation message signal of source 1 kilohertz, so the upper sideband will be FC plus 1 kilohertz FM and lower sideband is FC minus 1 kilohertz FM. Okay, so the total bandwidth will be 2 kilohertz. Here, if we take a source of human speech, next one is modulation index or modulation depth. It is defined as the frequency ratio of carrier amplitude to the message amplitude. So, by using modulation index, we will have different types of modulation schemes. So, this is the under modulation signal where the amplitude of carrier is changed in accordance with the envelope of message signal. This is envelope maximum and this we can take it as envelope minimum, that is A maximum and A minimum. That is A maximum and A minimum. So, modulation index is calculated by AM by AC. Next one. So, when M value is 0.1, 0.3 and 0.6, when M value is increasing, the modulation depth is, the envelope depth is also increasing. So, these are the different waveforms for different values of modulation index. We will continue. calculations. To calculate the signal power, we have three components like carrier signal and upper sideband and lower sideband component. Here total power is equals to carrier power plus lower sideband power and upper sideband power. The power can be calculated by using this formula V RMS square by R. So if we calculate for each and every component, we will get the total power is equals to PC into 1 plus mu square by 2. Here it is dependent on carrier power and modulation index. Okay. Here it will consume lots of power in amplitude modulation. It will consume lots of power on carrier signal, which does not contain any information. So this is the main drawback of amplitude modulation. To generate AM signals, we have different types of modulators like square law modulator and switching modulator. So the square law modulator contains a square law device which is a non-linear device which has a diode or a transistor, and we use a band pass filter here. Okay. So here we are summing the message signal and carrier signal. We will get the signal V1 of t. Next, after squaring the terms, square law device will square the terms, we will get V2 of t. These are the mathematical expressions of square law modulator. Here V1 of t is equals to m of t plus AC cos 2 pi fct. We are adding m of t and carrier signal, we will get V1 of t. The square law device will square the V1 of t. So we can take it as V2 of t is equals to K1 V1 of t plus K2 V1 square of t. So if we substitute V1 of t here in this equation, we will get V2 of t is equals to K1 m of t plus K2 c square of c of t, K1 c of t plus K2 m of t c of t plus K2 m square of t, K2 m square of t c square of t. Okay, if we send this signal, through band pass filter, the square terms will be reduced and high frequency components will be eliminated. High frequency components will be eliminated after we transmit V2 of t through band pass filter. This is the switching modulator. The difference between square law modulator and switching modulator here is, there we are using non-linear characteristics of diode. Here the characteristics of diode we will take it as in a linear mode. Okay. So with this we can generate, with square law modulator and switching modulator, we can generate the amplitude modulated signals. With this we are concluding. We will discuss about demodulators in the next session. Thank you.